video on wild green fritters. So I saw something, I wanted to have a go at it. I've made a batter. This is mostly for me. Remembering the recipe, it was 2 eggs, 200 grams of self-raising flour, and 100 milliliters of milk. It's quite a thick batter, and then I've got wild greens cooked in with some onion, and I put the stalks in as well. The tender stalks has gone in as well. So it's some spring greens. It was 250 grams worth of spring greens. There was about 30 grams worth of rocket, 400 grams worth of onion, and the weight of it now is about 550 grams. So, and is that what's in there? Yes. So I want to combine, see how much of that wild greens goes into that, because I want it to be really kind of heavy on the greens type of thing. I don't know if it's actually going to work. So we're going to do some little fritters, and then I'm going to do one big fritter, I think. So I need I think it'll take more greens than that. So so we'll do I'll do a little one, see how they turn out, and then I'll do a big one. So I might need to make up some more batter, and then because we're going to make a little one, we'll kind of see if the batter kind of works on a small kind of scale. But I want more greens in than that. And I'll weigh what greens I've got left, and then we'll get an idea of if it's the right kind of amount. Well, it's going to be, okay, so it's going to be looser because of the amount of greens that have gone in and the liquid in the greens. So, can we add even more? So we might have got away with just the 2 eggs and the greens. I think we can get all that in there. Yeah, let's put all that in there. We can always make a little bit more. Always make a little bit more batter up. We'll put another egg in. If it's not right, we can just let it down with a bit. Put another egg in, and we'll put a bit more milk in. It's already seasoned. Oops. But I want it to be done with a bigger bowl. Heavy on the greens, rather than more batter than greens. So it was just a case of what I have left in the fridge from something else. I had some rocket, I had some greens, and just a little bit of oil. I'm only going to do a tester. So just like a season it with some pepper. I can't remember if I seasoned it with pepper. Plenty of pepper. Dessert spoonful. I saw lots of different recipes. It was a picture that I saw. That looks about the right kind of ratio of greens to batter. I saw a picture and it was without a proper recipe. So I then looked up recipes for fritters. How they give you this, I don't know. Every recipe is different. They're kind of quite universal. So I just kind of thought we'll just have a play around and kind of see what works. I was going to put some cheese in as well. Let's taste it without cheese, and then we'll put some cheese in. So we've got some hard cheese in the fridge. I've just been banging around in the background. I was going to put some lemon in as well. We'll put some lemon zest in. I've got a lemon. Because greens always need a bit of lemon with them, just to kind of lift the flavour of them. Where's the oldest cheese that we've got? 888. 868. Okay. That's that. Let's go back in the fridge. As always, prepared, you know. So, have I got a... I have. Away. So I use self-raising flour just because of the rise in it. And then some recipes were egg, and some recipes were just egg and milk. The first one I tried was just far too thick. Far too thick. But it did call for some semolina in it. Polenta. Semolina, polenta. Which I kind of thought was kind of quite interesting. It would make it a little bit crunchy. So we'll just kind of have to see. But my idea is we'll do a tester, and then instead of doing little ones, I'll do a big one, which I thought would be a lot more interesting. So how much cheese have we got? A little more cheese I've got. Let's just, and it says pecorino in some of them, but by not adding the hard cheese in the tester, we'll know if we can get away with not having cheese in it. That's my theory anyway. Too high. And I think what we'll have to do is no, because we should be able to cook it in the pan and then turn it over and then finish it off in the pan, rather than the frittatas that I was making recently, where I finished them underneath the grill. We should just be able to flip it over in the pan. Oh, it's starting to smoke now. Look at that. See, a little bit too coloured. Too busy grating my cheese. And then there's always the worry that it's going to have to have the fan on, or the door open, or the door closed. It's the only problem with frying, you end up stinking the whole house out. We've got a small plate, half, but it's dirty. Chip plate. So. Right. Turn that off. Let's have a look at that. Oh, I should just break it open, that'd be better, won't it? That looks alright. That's nice. It doesn't need the cheese. It doesn't need the lemon. Well, it does. It does, but you can get away without using the cheese and the lemon. So that's kind of quite interesting, and that's about the right kind of. I want it to be full of grains and a little bit of batter to hold it together. So okay, that works. So I'll grate some cheese, and I'll weigh it, and we'll mix it into that, and then we'll cook a bigger version in the pan. You don't need to see that. We'll be back when it's in the pan, and I'll say how much cheese I've used and all that kind of stuff. Right, so we are recording. Yes, we are. So I've done 100 grams worth of cheese and a whole lemon zest. I'm not going to put the juice in because I can use the juice in something else. So we just got the lemon zest in, and then oil in the pan. Although I would have preferred to use something like chicken fat or lard. But anyway, it doesn't want to be too hot because it's going to have to be a slow cook, because there's a danger that it'll crisp on the outside and then be raw in the centre. But we're going to cook it on both sides by flipping it over. So, but it doesn't want to be too hot. Oh, I can smell the cheese already. So should be alright. We are Yeah, that should be okay. So, gently, cook it on one side, then we'll flip it over and cook it on the other. It probably would have been better if I'd have cooked the greens and then added the warm greens to the batter and then cooked it, because then the greens would have started off the cooking process of the fritter. But anyway, can we call this a fritter? I don't know. We could deep fry them. They're probably very nice deep fried. But anyway, so cook that gently, and we'll see how we go. But you don't need to see all that. It'll just be me waffling and making noises while I do the washing up and make some coffee. We're crispy around the edges, so let's get this flipped over. I think the best thing to do is going to be flip it onto the plate and then slide it back into the pan. I think. Do I need some bruised pepper? Well, let's just risk it. So, plate, and then flip onto the plate. Ooh, that looks good. And then kind of slide off the plate back into the pan. You know, that didn't really kind of work, did it? But not to worry. That kind of did. We've lost a little bit of that. That'll be fine. So, carry on cooking that on that side until the bottom is crispy. So, it's set. Let's have a look in the centre before we take it out of the pan. How's that looking? Is it cooked or is it raw? I think we'll be okay. Right, so let's not put it on the plate. Let's just flip it out to the board. Like that. And we'll turn that around and get that pan out of the way. Ooh, it's a bit wonky. But we'll see. So how's it looking? Oh, that's okay. That's okay. We'll cut the thick a bit. We'll risk the crispy. That's nice there, isn't it? That's nice and crispy. Nice with a fried egg, or a poached egg, but I'm not going to be doing that. Is that cooked? Just. There we go. Put it on the plate. And I'll take a picture. But obviously cheaper than making a frittata, because we're bulking it out with some flour and some milk. Rather than just, so if I made that as a wild green frittata, it would be like 5 eggs. Yeah, about 5 eggs. So we've cut back on 5 eggs by adding 200. I will put cheese in there, won't we? But I would have put cheese in the frittata. So we would have cut the 3 eggs out of it. We just used 3 eggs, 2 eggs. We would have used 100 milliliters of milk and 200 grams worth of flour. That's delicious. Oh, it works. I think to make a wild greens something or other, I think it needs a lot of wild greens in it. So anything you've got. So if you're going to go out foraging, loads of wild greens, rocket, spinach, nettles, cabbage, cavolo nero, Swiss chard, the green bits from cauliflowers, anything, but loads of greens in a ratio of to the batter. But anyway, it's going to be delicious.